it's week 18. And you know, I always thought I was going to get an ultrasound. I really didn't give it a second thought. I thought ultrasounds were a relatively safe and gentle technology, and I was just really excited to see the baby and just to connect. Well, after leaving my midwife's office this past week, I'm rethinking it. There's this one midwife nurse that is also pregnant. She's a couple weeks ahead of me. And so I asked her this last time I saw her if she was going to get her 20-week ultrasound. And she said, "Oh no." And I said, "Really? Why not?" And she said, "Well, my husband's a scientist. He's actually a physicist, and he studies sound waves, and he does not feel comfortable with ultrasound technology on a little baby." So wow, did that set me back. That really set me into kind of a tizzy. And that after I left that office, of course, I was on Google and researching the pros, the cons, trying to find the science of ultrasounds. And here's what I came up with. Well, ultrasound's been around for about 30 plus years. They've been doing them pretty routinely with pregnant women. Before the 1970s, childbirth was the leading cause of death among women and children. So I do think that the ultrasounds have contributed to where we're at today. But there have been some studies in laboratory mice that have been exposed to ultrasound scans that afterwards they have a rapid and kind of irregular growth of cellular activity. So that's not actually ideal. That's not really great to hear, and that has been something that's been found. They also, in some tests that were done in Britain, they realized that a lot of babies that were exposed to a lot of ultrasounds ended up being left-handed. I don't know why that's such a big deal, and that there was some speech delays. So the research is pretty skimpy and not horribly horrific in terms of my perspective. And then on the pros of getting ultrasound for me, one is, I'm 34 years old. This is the first time I've ever had a baby. I want to be sure that my placenta and the cervix and all my equipment is working well. I also want to see the baby, just to see the baby, bond with it, connect with it, and make sure that the baby is doing okay. They do tons of measurements and make sure all the growth of the organ development is going okay. It's also a great opportunity if something isn't going so great, like the kidneys are bloated or there might be some heart defects, that's something you can follow up with right after the birth and be very proactive about it. Also, of course, selfishly, I want to know the gender. The idea of going to baby shower after baby shower and getting green and yellow memorabilia does not excite me at all. I like color, I like the pink, I like the blue. And also, there's a small chance I could be having twins. They do run in my family, and I would really like to be prepared for twins because that's double trouble. So for me, it looks like the pros are really kind of outweighing the cons at this point. It's tough though, because I am Earth Mama and I do try to do everything holistically and naturally, and I'm giving birth in an alternative birth center in a bathtub essentially, and I'm hoping not to do an epidural and work with a doula and do all these things that maybe aren't so Western medicine mainstream. But at the end of the day, I think the peace of mind and the comfort that I'll get from that outweighs any risks. So that's my choice for now. I am leaving a little window in case I change my mind. My midwife did say to wait till 22 weeks, and this is a great tip for those that might not know this. She said if you only want to get one ultrasound, wait for 22 weeks rather than 20 weeks, because the baby's bigger and there's less chance. She's like, I've seen it over and over again, there's less chance of retakes because the doctors see what they want to see at that point. So I'd love to hear from any of those out there that didn't get an ultrasound, that went total au naturel, and why you chose to do it that way and how it turned out for you. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week.